Hello and welcome everyone. This is your astrology forecast for full moon in Sagittarius that is happening on the 23rd of May. And this full moon brings light. It brings enlightenment. It awakens our true spirit, and it makes us do things that make us feel alive. This full moon ignites the spark of an adventurer within us. It ignites the spark of the seeker for truth, the one who wants to live a life that is full of meaning. Because Sagittarius is the ruler of the ninth house, and the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. So this is all about the expansion of consciousness, the expansion of mind, the broadening of horizons, seeing the bigger picture, understanding the meaning behind trivial things that happen in our lives, seeking for higher meaning. This is all about stretching our perception, widening our ability to understand things, expanding our knowledge, gaining wisdom through experiences, through adventures, through exchanging experiences with others, with people from all over the world, connecting with foreigners, connecting with people who think differently, connecting with people who have different way of thinking, different perspectives, different backgrounds, different upbringing, people who come from different traditions, different nationalities, different philosophy of life. You know, this is about really collecting wisdom from everything and everyone. This is about enlightening the mind. Sagittarius is mutable fire sign, and it's very adaptable, and it's fiery. It keeps that flame burning, the flame of wisdom. This is the archetype of wisdom keepers, the seekers, truth keepers, and it's a lot about mental energy, intellectual energy, but intuitive as well. It's more about intuition. It's about higher education, higher learning, higher mind, higher self, everything that is higher, aiming high with that arrow like the true archer. The archer, the Sagittarius, the centaur, half human, half horse, and us becoming able to ride that horse. And horse can represent many things. It's multi-layered, and we can see that horse as our senses, and we have to tame those five senses. We have to control them, to take, to really be able to ride the horse. This is the moment when the rider and the horse become one, where we bring the heart and mind together, intuition and logic, rational and irrational. And we may be faced with some truth and lies, with facts and with fantasy, between fantasy and reality, because this is the polarity and axis of Gemini and Sagittarius, because Gemini is the opposite sign of Sagittarius, and we have the sun in Gemini and the moon is in Sagittarius. This is when we have full moons. So whenever we have full moon in any sign, we know that the sun is in its opposite sign. And this is when this polarity is created. And this polarity is very important, because this polarity doesn't mean that there is a division. There is actually a united moment, because these are two sides of the same coin. Every polarity is complementary, and it reminds us that the world and the reality is coherent. Everything in this reality is coherent, and it's in alignment with each other. It supports each other, even if it doesn't seem like that to us from our perspective. And I will mention something that I spoke about with Lucas from Moon Omens, and we haven't seen Lucas in a while in these videos, but I want to mention him because we talked about yugas, the big cycles. We spoke about them because we as a team, we sent an email about the coming of the golden age of Kali Yuga. And some people replied to email and they said that we probably made a mistake because this is Kali Yuga is the age of destruction and dark times, and it cannot be golden age. And some said we are not entering Kali Yuga, we are entering Satya Yuga, which is golden age. But it's not really like that, because what was meant there is that we are coming into the mini cycle within a bigger cycle. This Kali Yuga is known as a big, huge cycle that lasts 432,000 years. And we've been into this era for 5,000 years that we know. We are not 100% sure that it's like that, but this is what we know. So we are entering the mini golden age within this big dark age of Kali Yuga. So we are entering this small golden age that is not the same as the true golden age. So it won't be all shiny, beautiful, flowering, but it's about reaching that spark, reaching that light that is surrounded by darkness. And this is what this full moon reminds us of, that there is a spark, there is light, there is flame within us. Even though there is darkness all around us, there is this candlelight, and it's enough to carry the light. And I also wanted to say that no matter which cycle we are in, each of us can enter any age in any moment. It's the state of consciousness, actually. So Kali Yuga, Golden Age, Satya Yuga, there are two more, Dvapara Yuga and Treta Yuga. And no matter what age we are in when it comes to time and space, it's about us and what we do with ourselves, because we have our own cycles within our own aura and bodies, and we can be in that state of consciousness of golden age. And the Kali Yuga, it's for those who are stuck in lower expressions, in hatred, in jealousy, in possessiveness, in vengeance, in those kinds of things that put us down continuously. When we are greedy, too materialistic, this is Kali Yuga. When we don't know true values of things, when we are completely disconnected from the source and from what is truly important. And this is something that, many people are stuck in. And for some people, the reality is this dark age. And the wise seekers, they are reserved for golden age. So, time cannot change us unless we try to change ourselves. And, we can always live in the golden age, or we can always live in the dark age. It's up to us. This is our state of consciousness. And we are the ones who are going to choose this. So this full moon in Sagittarius reminded me of this, because it's Jupiter-ruled full moon, and it's in a supportive trine with Neptune in Pisces. And Pisces is also it's also about spirituality, it's about oneness, it's about the transcendence, it's about otherworldly experiences and spiritual dimensions and dreams and symbols and the language of symbols, things that happen beyond the world, beyond the spoken, beyond theories. It's about just knowing and being. And we have supportive, friendly, harmonious trine aspect between this full moon and Neptune in Pisces. So we have this really powerful moment that can initiate us into that state of being in a golden age. of creating that reality for ourselves. We are the ones who can create that reality for ourselves. It's not about waiting for some savior out there or waiting for things to happen externally, and that's when we will all just align with that frequency. That's not how this works. It's about truly changing ourselves, our perspectives, our beliefs. Sagittarius is about beliefs and perspectives. It's about who we truly are. And this is something that will really remind us of how to get into that state of being. And with these big cycles, I was also reminded that there are 4 of them, like 4 big cycles. And these big 4 cycles are reminding me of quaternity of everything. Let me just make this camera, because I see it's a bit blurry. I hope now it's fine. I don't know what's happening with it. Just a moment, I'm sorry. I hope it's good now. For me it looks good. I hope it will be good. So these 4 big cycles reminded me of quaternity. And there are 4 fours of everything. And if you want to research more about it, you can find it in that book, The Age of Aquarius. You can find it on Moon Omens website. There are a couple of chapters about these fours and what it means. And you know, we have 4 big cycles, 4 winds, 4 seasons, 4 corners of the earth, 4 elements, 4 archangels, 4 structures of DNA, 4 worlds of Kabbalah, 4 as a base of everything, 4 sides of the square, tetragrammaton, known 4 royal stars, 4 horsemen, 4 major races. Everything's in 4s, and these 4 cycles, big 4 cycles, including the Dark Age and the Golden Age, they are all within ourselves. We are going through all these cycles through our lives. We are experiencing these cycles in many ways. Maybe these cycles shift in many ways. One day we are in a dark age, next day we are in a golden age, because every day is like a completely different life that we are living. And we are awakening to some of these truths now. We are able to really comprehend the deeper meaning of these elements and these life experiences. So it's about really understanding the value of life. And do you value your life? Do you truly know the value of life? And when I'm talking about the value of life, and the reasons to celebrate life don't have to be spectacular. The reasons to celebrate life are very simple. But our logical, rational minds have a tendency to complicate things and to make things much more complex than they are. And whenever we try to complicate something, it means that we didn't understand it. Because when we understand something, it's very simple. Whenever we understand something, we can explain it in a very simple way. But when we don't understand something, then we have to use, all kinds of equations to explain it. Because the more complex it is, the harder it is to understand it. And then it seems like you are talking something, but you don't really understand what it is. So truly knowing the reasons to celebrate life and the value of life. And this reminded me of a story. There is a Sufi story about a man who was completely lost. He didn't know what to do with himself. He was completely desperate. He wanted to kill himself. He went to the river to drown himself. And there he saw a mystic, an old mystic. And this mystic asked him, hello there, young man, what's your problem? You seem upset to me. And he said, well, everything seems like a huge effort. Whatever I do is a failure. I have nothing. I am I am left with nothing. I am the poorest being in the world, and I think I'll even fail in killing myself. And the mystic said, okay, I think maybe I can help you in some way. Wait just one more day, be patient, and I'll come back to you tomorrow. And the mystic came day after tomorrow, no, not day after tomorrow, the tomorrow day, and he said, I went to the emperor, and the emperor said he can help you. And he said he will give you whatever you want if you are going to give him your 2 eyes. and and this man said, are you crazy to give 2 eyes? For what? And he said, for everything. You said you have nothing. You were ready to kill yourself yesterday, and now you are telling me you don't want to give your 2 eyes. But I already told to emperor you have to offer your 2 legs, your 2 eyes, your ears. And this man said, I thought you are a mystic, I thought you are wise, but you are a killer. And he ran away. But while he was running away, he understood. He realized how worthy his life was, and he understood the value of his eyes, his sight, his hearing, his legs, his all his whole organism. He realized the worthiness of it, and he became very grateful, and he in his happiness was actually gained, not returned because he didn't even have it, but he gained that state of happiness and golden age in a moment. And just because he was faced with losing true value, true worthiness of being alive. And now I remembered one more story that I'm going to share with you. And this story is about a man, a poor man, who had a cow or a donkey, I don't know, whatever it was. And his donkey, let's say it was donkey, his donkey had a very expensive and valuable jewel or diamond that he carried around his neck. And he was walking with his donkey through the village, and one man who was working with jewels and gold and diamonds came to him, and he recognized that this is very valuable. And he told to this poor man, I will give you, let's say, no, he asked the man first, how much are you selling this? And the man said, let's say $10. And the man who was buying said, it's too much for me. Can you give me for $5? And this man said, no, not for $5. I will stick to $10. And this man walked away. He said, okay, I'll try tomorrow. He will make up his mind. But the other guy saw that he is wearing very expensive jewel, and he came to him and he said, I'll give you $1,000 for that jewel. And this poor man, he sold to him this for 1,000, and he was happy. The next day, the first guy came and said, where is your jewel? And he said, I sold it for 1,000. And he said, oh, but you are so stupid. You could sell it for 1 million or even more. And the poor man said, but you are even more stupid than me. You knew the worth of it, and you didn't want to buy it for $10. I didn't know the worth of it. So I actually gained something, but you knew the worth of it and you missed the worth of it. So the point of this story is that we will always lose this jewel. We will always lose that something that is very valuable unless we know the true value of it. And that's what is happening with us all the time, every day. And this full moon will truly enlighten this. It will shine the light on that area of our life where we are forgetting the value of something that is truly meaningful, that has a real, precious, priceless value. And we're going to see how we can understand what true values are, life will show us those things. Life will unfold in a way that will show us, that will give us the knowledge of true values of life. And we will be able to really get in touch with those true values. And during this time, we may see that there is so much that doesn't make sense. There is a lot of truth mixed with lies. This is something that is always active, the truth mixed with lies, but now, during this time, we may become very aware of that. We may become much more aware of how they are mixing truth with lies. And the less anything out there makes any sense, the more we search it to find some meaning and purpose in our lives. So it's very good when things outside of us become pointless and meaningless, because that's when we turn inward. That's when we want to find things out. That's when we search for truth. That's when we want to seek things. That's when we become the seekers. That's when life becomes adventure. That's when we embark on an inner journey. That's when we want to pursue spiritual values and qualities. And this is when we ask big questions. This is when we are able to see the bigger picture. This is when we can expand our perspectives and horizons. So many things will be out there that make no sense, that maybe seem unfair, that seem tragic and traumatic, and that push us into the light of spirituality, that push us into that flame and into that light of wisdom. So we may see, actually we do see, that there is a huge wave of spirituality in the last couple of years especially, and this is going to grow bigger and bigger. But we will also see that there are many people who talk about spirituality, and everyone is talking about it. Everyone knows what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should live your life, what are steps to reach enlightenment. Wake up in 10 steps, or meet your true self in 41-day cycle, or 7-week protocol to resolve all your traumas. And all these hooks, external hooks that make us lose ourselves and give our power away to those quick solutions, instant solutions. But that's not the way this works, because we have to connect with our inner teachers, inner light, inner wisdom, inner guru, inner shaman, inner archer, inner resolver, inner healer. And this is where the true journey begins. This is when the real journey begins. And it's about letting go of mental speculations, letting go of being right all the time, letting go of imposing our will onto others, and asking questions that we didn't dare to ask because we thought these questions are childish or stupid, or people will laugh at us. But these are the true questions that we need to ask. Questions like, why is the water wet? Why the grass is green? Why the tree grows in the way it grows? Why we have eyes? Why we have ears? Why we speak? Why we use language? Why we have different languages? Why is there birth and death? Why are there animals? All these kinds of questions will expand our perspectives, expand our consciousness. And this is really time to ask big questions. And we may be confused about what is true. But we are going to, this is the time of seeing that the truth is discredited. And we may want to run into escapism, Neptune in Pisces, but we have this trine aspect. It's very favorable aspect, so we are actually able to transcend those needs to escape, to transcend our addictions, and to really do something radical, to change our core beliefs and to see how our beliefs shape our whole reality. Our beliefs really push us into those situations that we repeatedly do over and over again. This is what beliefs, there is a really great power in beliefs, and once we dare to change at least one belief, we are going to see how everything around us starts changing. But with this Neptune in Pisces and this trines can make us lazy as well, because with trines we are more relaxed, and it's like I don't have to do anything. Neptune in Pisces, just being, and I just want to daydream. I just want to fantasize. I don't want to deal with the world. I don't want to deal with serious matters. I don't want to deal with anything that happens out there. I just want to, lie on the grass and watch the sky and sing and dance and drink and be, in the state of numbness, actually. But this is what Neptune in Pisces can make us do. We can, these are Neptunian filters, psychoactives, like, alcohol and drugs and caffeine, nicotine, movies, painkillers, conspiracy theories, unicorns and UFOs, extraterrestrials, trauma projections, victim martyr complexes. All these things may be increased and enhanced now, but we also have a truly powerful opportunity to see through these things, to acknowledge them, because full moon brings illumination. Something is brought to light, something is coming to the surface, something is illuminated, something is revealed, things are being disclosed. This is a time when culminations happen, things come to a fruition, things come to fullness, and full moons will bring something to light. It will bring truth to light, because Sagittarius is about truth. And the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter is where? It's in Taurus, in the last degrees of Taurus. And when we have planet in the last degrees of a sign, this is when the expression of it becomes very strong. And that's why I spoke about those big values, those true values, and these values will be expanded in a big way, because Taurus deals with values and self-worth and self-sufficiency and qualities. So we are going to face these things, and we are going to see, as I said, that everyone talks about spirituality, but no one is actually walking the talk. No one is actually there, but everyone is talking about it. Everyone is giving their perspectives, their ways of doing things. And my advice is, find what resonates with you, and don't follow blindly anyone. Don't follow blindly nothing and no one, and just, collect the wisdom from all different sources, from many different sources. Collect the wisdom and take everything that resonates with you, but be ready to drop it off when it no longer serves you, because this is the path of growth. We are collecting the wisdom, we are experiencing things, and at one point, at one stage of our life, we are deeply in a certain belief, but then comes the moment when we see that this belief has changed, it has transformed. So now it's time to drop off that belief and to enter into a new game. We are starting a new level. So there is more demanding level, perhaps. And we are going to see during this time many adrenaline junkies as well. And we may be addicted to excitement, but trust me, excitement is overrated. That excitement that is over excessive, that is always pushing us into something new, into a new journey, into a new experiences, that's something that doesn't allow us to feel ourselves, to stay with ourselves, to sit with ourselves, but we are always on the next journey. So of course there are both extremes of hiding from excitement and hiding from journey, hiding from changes, or being addicted to changes, being addicted to journeys and excitement. So we need to rebalance, to learn to find a true balance between being and doing. And of course this is challenging always, but this full moon will trigger our disbalances. It will trigger places where we are disbalanced, and it will wake up the true seekers within ourselves. The seekers, the inner seekers, are waking up, and it's about experience, the richness of experience. So it's not about, being on the path and just thinking about when we're going to get there. Because this is where we lose the meaning of that experience. We have to feel that experience. It's different later when it's gone, then we remember it and we say, oh, it was great experience, but we were not there. So let's try to be there truly in that experience, to feel it, and to feel the freedom of being there, to understand what true freedom means. Because this full moon is a lot about freedom. What is truly freedom? Freedom is not about doing anything whenever we want, doing whatever we want, with whoever we want, and being able to just live in any way we want. It's not freedom. Freedom is more about us being able to choose how we are going to react to external situations. Freedom is about being able to choose not to react impulsively or in any other way that we don't want to react. So, being able to react authentically and not under the pressure of emotional, mental, and physical needs. We are going to see where are we being slave to our needs and what true freedom is, how to liberate ourselves from those needs. And are those needs truly ours? Or is there a voice of somebody else there? Is it voice of our authority figures, of our teachers, of our parents, of our, grandmothers and grandparents, whoever, the system? And we have an ability to set ourselves free from those imposed beliefs and ideals. Sagittarius, the ruler of the ninth house, also has to do with educational system, with degrees, with learning, with teaching, and with transferring knowledge and sharing information, sharing valuable information. So what kind of information are we sharing with the world? What kind of knowledge do we transfer? What kind of things do we learn from each other? What kind of knowledge do we exchange with people? And we're going to see that everything is truly a perception. And some of us will be able to change the focus very quickly, to be able to step out from one reality and step into another reality just by changing the perspectives. And we are able to see it from different angles. So this reminds me of one more story about the doors of perception. And because truly everything is a perception, and what we believe in. And there was this story about two masters. One master was teaching that there are no doors at all, and the other master was teaching his student that there are many doors in order to reach the state of peace and enlightenment. So the question is, which master is right? But the answer is that they are both right. And that there was one student, and this one master was teaching him that there are many, many, many doors. And one other student heard that the one who was teaching from the guy who was teaching that there are no doors. And he asked his master, why is he telling him that there are many doors and you are telling us that there are no doors at all? And he said, there are different types of people with different perspectives. And for these people who are with this master, they need to hear that there are many stories, because this is the only way that they are going to learn. This is the only way that they will understand, because they need those doors. If you tell them that there are no doors at all, they will not get anywhere. They will stay where they are. They will lose completely the whole journey, and it will be pointless, because they wouldn't be able to understand this. And this is truly what is happening for many of us now. And both ways are right. It just depends which type of person we are, which type of perspective we have, what is more applicable for us. So for some of us, there are going to be many stages, many different doors opening. But for some of us, there won't be any doors. It will happen instantly. And it will happen just like that. And there is no better path. They are all equal. They are all worthy. They all have the purpose and the meaning. So there is no worse or better way. And this is also something that we are learning now. And this full moon is making a supportive sextile, 60 degrees angle with Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto is that planet of transformation, of the underworld, of deep and profound things, of power, of tearing down everything that is weak in order to rebuild it. Pluto is destructive force. It's very intense. And when we have this supportive energy with Pluto, this is a time when we can expect some great opportunities for powerful, wanted changes, for great transformations, for transformation of society, because Pluto is in Aquarius, and Aquarius represents humanity and groups of people and technology and the future and, you know, the greater groups of people. And so we can see the transformation, the positive transformation of society. And this transformation may happen through knowledge, because this is full moon in Sagittarius that is making this sextile. So full moon in Sagittarius, being able to tap into intuitive knowledge, higher education, wisdom, spiritual pursuits, travel, connecting with people from all over the world, exchanging knowledge, exchanging experiences, being open-minded to hear other people's opinions, to hear other people's beliefs and stories, and to be ready to dare to let go of your outdated beliefs. And this is what will bring powerful transformation. And of course, for if we want to see where it happens for us on an individual level, you will have to see where that Pluto in Aquarius is in your chart, in which house and what other aspects is making. But on a bigger scale, this is what is going on. And it all comes from the individual perspective, of course. In its essence, there is no such thing as collective consciousness, because this is the conglomerate of individual consciousness. So it all starts from individual perspective. So when we change that individual perspective, when we fill ourselves with the light, when we enlighten the mind, when we use that flame, when we are able to change our perspectives, this is when we are able to have a positive influence on the human consciousness, on the transformation of society. And we're going to explore this, and we may be put on the paths that we haven't explored before. These are new places. We are going to change the scenery, change the vision, and also change the inner vision, and being able to envision things. And this is a lot about personal growth and seeing the bigger picture, being adventurous, seeing life as an adventure, not as a curse, as many people do. This is what happens when people complain all the time, when people are stuck in the worst case scenarios, when people are stuck in apocalyptic theories, in apocalyptic predictions. This is what creates that great disbalance within ourselves and between our mind and heart. So if we are able to see everything as an adventure, this is something that always gives us new perspective, that always refreshes our perspective. It refreshes our beliefs, and that's very important, to refresh that knowledge, to renew it, to make it alive. Because if we are stuck in the same knowledge, in the same beliefs, in the same perspectives, this is very frustrating, it's boring, and we get stuck in mental speculations, in argumentative discussions with people about what is true and what is not true. And we can go on and on in these discussions, but there is no point there. There is nothing meaningful there. And we are searching for meaning. And we are able to take some great risks now. We have Mars in Aries now. Mars is in its own sign in Aries, and Mars is very strong when it's in Aries. So we are more courageous, more direct, fearless, more vital, and we have that strength and motivation and willingness to dare to do things, to initiate things. So we are able to take risks, and we have courage for gaining freedom, for really experiencing the freedom, for thinking differently, for being open-minded, and being fearless in seeking truth. And it's a lot about information and communication and perception. So we're going to see how information changes our perception, and how communication can change the way we perceive information, the way we communicate, the way we use our tone, our words can change the way we deliver the message or the way we receive the message. And this is what really affects our perception. And there is a desire to access higher knowledge, and we will have this access to higher knowledge now. The doors are open for those who are knocking from the inside. Knock from the inside, and the doors will definitely open. And we have to, address the things that are not right in our life. We cannot ignore things anymore. We may have been able to tolerate certain things, to ignore them, to avoid them, to suppress them, but this full moon will shine big light on this, and we will have to see it. It won't be possible to avoid it. And this is where I remember the story of the Emperor's New Clothes. You all know the story of Emperor's New Clothes, where the only person who saw that the king the emperor is naked was the child, because the child was innocent and the child didn't know that the emperor is some important person. So the child said, but look, the emperor is naked. And so everyone realized that really the emperor is naked. So we have to be that child in the story of the emperor's new clothes, and to detect things that need to be, addressed as true. And the truth will be revealed. The truth will come to light for us, something that is very important for us, something that is very significant for us in this moment of our lives, so that we can move forward, so that we can aim higher, so that we can, go into the vertical zone and hemisphere of our existence. And, as I said, ask big questions and question everything, but don't become fanatic about something, because fanaticism won't lead you to truth. It will only increase the doubt. So again, the balance between the fact and fantasies, between the intuition and the rational thinking, between the logical and otherworldly perspectives. And we all have the source, we all have the origin, as I always say, and our birth from our mother's womb is only a microscopic replica of what is happening on a larger scale, of what is happening with the universe. So we may be going through this mini rebirth cycle now, all of us. We may experience this coming out of our womb, coming out of that place, and we may feel at the same time separation and reunion with our origin, with our essence. And the question is, are we ready to bloom? Are we ready to reconnect, to reunite? Are we ready to feel that oneness, that coherence with the world? Are we ready to truly feel that everything is in a really perfect, coherent relationship with each other? Or are we still stuck in those mental speculations, in fighting over truth and lies, in trying to impose our will, stuck in old beliefs and ideals and religious views and old, outdated philosophies of life? Or are we stuck in this delusional new age way of thinking, only talking about the spirituality, where I am spiritual but you are not. There are many great humoristic videos that are coming up these days, and people are really seeing through these things. But not everyone, people easily get delusional. So we really need to get real about many things, and understand that we need common sense and facts that will give stability to our beliefs. This is not only the lower mind and the higher mind, because we know that the lower mind is represented by Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, and the higher mind represented by Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius. And these are two polarity points, Gemini and Sagittarius. And the student and the teacher, the relationship between the student and the teacher. And as I always say, we are all students and teachers to each other. And we always change this relationship. Sometimes I am the teacher, sometimes I am the student, sometimes you are the teacher, sometimes you are the student, and this is always changing. And the problem is when people reject these roles and they just want to, be stuck in one role. But we are always, going through different cycles. It's like this, we are changing. We are moving up and down, spiraling, and, transforming, exchanging everything, experiences and roles. And this is not, as I said, only about the lower mind and higher mind. because this is again the game of duality, the game of polarity. This is about giving birth to a third force that arises from connection of these two polarities. And this is what happens when we connect, when we are able to bring into balance the mind and heart, the left and right, the white and black, the male and female, angel and demons, and all kinds of polarities. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, God and devil, day and night, sky and earth, all these polarities, they are all there to serve their purpose to us. But if we identify ourselves with those polarities, we become split and polarized too. So we are given the consciousness to rise above those polarities and to see that all these things are actually one and the same thing. And you just have to know that we shouldn't trust everything that we hear and see. We should do our own research. We shouldn't trust everything that we hear. So let's be careful about, who we follow, who we listen to, who we give our power away, who is our authority, who is our role model. And our individual structures may feel less stable now, so we have to take care of that blind faith and fanaticism and listen to our gut feelings. As I said, we are all our own gurus. We have our own inner healer and guru within us, and there is no other. There is really no other. Others can be important. They can play an important role as a teacher, as a guru, as important tool that helps us reach our own inner selves. But it's not they who can solve anything for us. And all the teachers outside of us are only the signs, symbols, information. But the real wisdom, the real food, the real taste, the real nutrients are within. And this is about going big and doing something big, expanding energy, abundance, wealth and growth. And we are going to feel this inner abundance, inner strength, inner growth. And we can always do much more than we think we can. And we can always grow more and learn more, and it is an unstoppable process. And this full moon will show us that we can be more, do more, learn more, grow more. And you're going to see what's been missing, what's been lost. And it's important to see, who do we believe? What gives us purpose? What is the point? What is the point of doing certain things, of learning certain things, of sharing certain stories? And what gives us the sense of identity? Everything changes. Life changes. We change all the time. Our beliefs change. Our ideals change. Our philosophy changes. We are all facing some kind of loss, and there is no returning back to how it was. And this loss is actually pushing us into this flame of wisdom keepers, into this flame of knowledge, into this flame onto this path of seekers, the path of meeting our inner gurus, meeting our inner teachers. And we have to go through all the feelings, no matter how hard it might be. But this fire needs to be felt, this fire needs to be processed. And we shouldn't actually, if that heat comes, if those strong feelings come, we shouldn't calm them down. We should actually hunt them. Let's hunt them when we feel they are coming, because we need to feel them. We need to deeply look at them, because they reflect what is hidden with us. They will show us our true potential, our true jewels, our diamonds, our true values. This is where our true values are. Let's not spill them just like that. Let's not waste them, because they are truly important and they mean something. And Of course, we are all spiritual beings. Let's not, because I see many communities and individuals who put this whole trend of spirituality as something that is somehow making people divided again. It's again putting a separation. It's again the same story. As I say, this new age modern trend is actually a new cage, but the same separation thing, because it makes some people think that they are less worthy, that they know less, that they are not valuable enough, they are not worthy enough to reach the knowledge, to reach that space, that peace within themselves. Like, it's not possible. But everyone has their own path, and if we are here, we are already on that path. We are all having our own journey, and let's honor that journey. That's the value. That journey is that diamond. That journey, this path that we are walking, is our jewel. Let's not waste it. Let's not give it away just like that for nothing. Let's admire it. Let's see the true value in it, no matter how it looks to us. And we are going to understand how this works. We are going to see that it's something that is always with us. Our true values, our true diamonds, our jewels are always right there, very close to us. That's why we don't see them. And this Neptune in Pisces, this trine, is really waking up these feelings of unconditional love, empathy, forgiveness, unity, and oneness. And we are able to really see beyond these polarities. We have the Sun in Gemini, and very soon many energies will enter the sign of Gemini. Venus will enter Gemini, Mercury will enter Gemini. So we will have huge emphasis on Gemini. And Gemini, the twins, the next lunation is new moon in Gemini. Gemini, the twins, duality. And now we have this strong spiritual energy that talks about oneness and unity and transcendence of duality. And Gemini talks about duality. And, Castor and Pollux, Abel and Cain. As I said already, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Romus and Remulus, angel and devil, right and left, good and bad. And we have an opportunity to see through these polarities and to recognize our own duality within ourselves. And this is the energy of the prophet and the messenger. The messenger would be the Gemini archetype, and the prophet, the prophet and the wisdom keeper would be the Sagittarius archetype. Message and insight, guru and the trickster, Mercury and Jupiter, teacher and student. And we are all carrying all these archetypes within ourselves. We are revealing the truth, revealing valuable information, bringing things to light, understanding those beliefs, those religious views, ideals, philosophies, ideologies, theories, all these things, and see what needs to be left behind, where we need to refresh these beliefs, letting go of old beliefs, letting go of old religion. Take what is valuable, take what resonates with you, but be ready to learn some new things, to understand things from different perspective. And Sagittarius is light, it's fire, it's higher expression of words is light. When they say in the beginning there was word, it was actually a sound, and it's actually light. Converted sound is light, and Sagittarius is that light of wisdom, of enlightening the mind. And Gemini is related with mind and words, because we express our thoughts with our words. But light carries information. And that's why it's powerful to watch the sun during the sunrise and sunset, because it carries valuable information, and we can receive that information right into our heart through our eyes. And words, these are words of light, enlightening words, and it gives powerful information that feeds us and heals us. And I will just say a couple of quotes now that I have to share with you before I end this. And this is very simple, but may sound a bit paradoxical, but that's how it is. If you understand, things are just as they are. If you don't understand, things are just as they are. Love you all and see you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.